So the Apple Watch Series 2 was released on September 16th of 2016. That's a little over 2 years ago now. And in the meantime, we've seen the Apple Watch Series 3 be released, and also the Apple Watch Series 4. Now, of course, you've probably seen the prices of the Series 3 and the Series 4 from Apple. You've probably tried to get one used, but maybe they're out of your price range, or maybe you don't want to spend that much on a smartwatch, at least right now. So you've probably taken a look at some Apple Watch Series 2s and you're probably thinking to yourself, should I buy an Apple Watch Series 2 in 2019? What is up, guys? I'm Benji from BenObi Tech and welcome back to another video. So a couple months ago I decided to pick up an Apple Watch Series 2. Decided to go with a 38mm stainless steel Apple Watch Series 2. So the Apple Watch Series 2 is basically identical to the Apple Watch Series 3 in terms of design. Unless of course you go with the cellular version on the Series 3, which has the red dot. But hey, you can actually add a red dot to your Series 2 as well using watch dots, which I will link in the description below. They're not sponsoring this video or anything. I just recommend them because they're actually really good, and you can change the color of your digital crown and your side button and all that. And it works on pretty much any Apple Watch as well, even the Series 4. So the Apple Watch Series 2 comes in two different sizes. It comes in 38mm and 42. The Apple Watch Series 2 is equipped with an AMOLED display. So the colors on the Apple Watch Series 2's screen look really good. And you can actually see the display in direct sunlight just fine. So there's not really any issues there. And honestly, for a 2-year-old smartwatch, the display is just fine. All of the models are water resistant, but of course, if you do get it secondhand, be careful please, because you may get one secondhand that has been opened up by the consumer, or the waterproof seal has kind of died over time. So be very careful when you're using it in water. I've used mine in the shower, in the bath, I think even the swimming pool a couple times, in the rain, and mine's been completely fine. But still, be very careful when you're near water. Even though the Apple Watch is water resistant up to 50 meters, still be careful if you get it secondhand. If you get brand new or refurbished from Apple, you should be fine. So it is a little bit slow at like opening apps. Of course, because it's an older watch, it will perform worse than the newer ones. But I mean, it runs completely fine for receiving phone calls, for receiving notifications. So of course, Siri is a little bit slower as well, and answering and taking phone calls is a little slower. But other than that, it honestly doesn't affect usage that much. But still, keep in mind that this is a 2-year-old smartwatch and it won't be as fast as an Apple Watch Series 4, for example. So of course, something you're wondering is, what is the battery life like on the Apple Watch Series 2? Of course, it will depend on how much the previous owner or previous owners used the watch. But for me, the Apple Watch Series 2 lasts me a little over a day sometimes less. It depends if I'm doing a workout, like if I go out for a walk or if I go out to play football for an hour and a half. The battery life won't last as long as if I don't do a workout at all during the day. And I mean, on an average day, like going out for a walk and then coming back, I usually end the day with about 25% on my watch, which is actually pretty good. And the battery health on my Apple Watch is 87% at the moment. So I guess it's kind of time to change the battery. Apple does have a battery replacement program, but honestly, it's not worth it. It's like $80 to replace the battery, and I don't recommend you replace it yourself, because you open this thing up, RIP water resistance. So something I want to mention here is sound quality. Like, what do the speakers and microphones sound like? Now, the microphone sounds completely fine. Like, I've never had anyone complain about it being too quiet or whatnot, but I do complain that the speaker is a little quiet. So if you want to take phone calls on your watch, bear in mind that you'll have to higher the volume and put the watch like near your face. Unless you have AirPods. Like, this fixes everything. Like, if you have AirPods, you can answer a phone call on your watch and it'll redirect to your AirPods. So that's great. So if you do end up getting an Apple Watch Series 2, I do recommend getting AirPods as well. Anyway, moving on to fitness tracking, which is something I want to talk about. Now, of course, the fitness tracking abilities on the Apple Watch Series 2 are kind of limited compared to the Series 3 and the Series 4. You can of course track things like your heart rate, footsteps, calories burnt, workouts, all that kind of stuff. And it even has a built-in GPS, so you can go out running without your phone and stuff and still see where you are on the map. Like, there's no EKG or ECG built into the Apple Watch Series 2. There also isn't an altimeter or whatever you want to call it, so it won't be able to count how many stairs you've climbed and all that kind of stuff. Because you still can track most of what an Apple Watch Series 4 or Series 3 can, but still you're kind of limited in some areas. Honestly, if you're someone who just regularly goes to the gym and just needs to track their heart rate, track their workouts and all that kind of stuff and close their rings, because something that I love about the Apple Watch that's available on the Apple Watch Series 2 as well is being able to close your rings every day, and you can even compete with friends and stuff, and the Apple Watch Series 2 works completely fine for that. Another thing I wanted to mention is software. The Apple Watch Series 2 runs the latest version of watchOS 5, which I think is watchOS 5.1.3 or 5.1.4, and there's actually a pretty high chance it will go ahead and support watchOS 6 in September, which is really, really good. So longevity on this watch is going to be pretty good, and most, if not all, of the features that came out with watchOS 5 are actually available on the Apple Watch Series 2, which is awesome. I just hope Apple keeps updating it for at least another year. So in conclusion, should you pick up an Apple Watch Series 2 in 2019? I think if you don't have the money to spend on an Apple Watch Series 3 or a Series 4, but you still want an Apple Watch, I highly recommend the Series 2. Because I've tried a Wear OS smartwatch like a couple months ago that's about in the same price range as the Apple Watch Series 2. And honestly, it's nowhere near as good as the Apple Watch Series 2. Even though this thing is 2 years old, it actually surprised me by how good it actually is. I mean, it runs most of the latest apps on the watchOS App Store. But anyway, in conclusion, I highly recommend the Apple Watch Series 2 if you can't afford a Series 4 or a Series 3. If you can't afford a Series 3 or a Series 4, go for it, because those are much, much better and much, much faster. If you guys want to pick up an Apple Watch Series 2, I will link some affiliate links in the description below, which means if you use those links, then part of the money you spend will actually go and help the channel. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to hit that like button down below. If you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe button and ring the bell, so then you'll be notified every time I upload a video. You can get to my videos early and you won't miss an upload. If you want to help support the channels, you can go ahead and get yourself some merch. The link is in the description below. If you're not into merch, you can support me on Patreon or PayPal. Links, again, down below. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I'm Benji from BenObi Tech. I'll catch you guys in the very next video.